Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and happy Valentine's Day. I hope you guys are having a beautiful day. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys like to stay in or go out for Valentine's Day. We actually decided to stay in. The only thing we are going to go out and do is go to the gym because we figured it would not be busy today. Fingers crossed that's true. Unless there's a bunch of couples that are going like, let's go to the gym for Valentine's Day. Then it'll probably be really busy. But hopefully the gym is not as busy, but that is our plans for today. But anyways, today's video is going to be about, I used to say I would never, ever, ever date or marry someone that was in the military. But here I am in 7 days, in 10 hours, I will be marrying someone in the military. All right, so I kind of want to backtrack from the first time that I used to say this. So when I was growing up, I used to say I would always marry a man in a uniform, whether it was like a police officer, firefighter, military. I really didn't care. I just used to say that I would date and marry someone that had a uniform. But as the years went on, and I'm kind of going to backtrack to almost high school. Well, it is high school. So in about 9th grade, I started to dating, and I was like, you know what? I really don't know how I feel about it. I'm kind of needy. I kind of like to have my significant other around me all the time. And I'm not very social to where I make a lot of friends. And so I feel like it'd be really hard for me to move around and make new friends all the time and take the chance of my spouse deploying or, being overseas or whatever. And I just didn't like that idea. So 10th grade comes around and I am starting to date this boy, which is my only real boyfriend, up until Mauricio, and I dated him for 5 years. So from 2013 to 2018, I think. It was almost 5 years that we had been dating. And at the end of his senior year, he told me he wanted to join the Air Force. And at this point, I was very gung-ho. If you join the Navy, or if you join the military, aka the Air Force, I would leave. I wouldn't want to be with you. I don't want to do that. And it was kind of like really aggressive in the moment. Like when I look back on it, I'm like, I was literally stopping someone from conquering their dream, achieving their dream. And it's kind of bitchy of me, honestly, that I used to say that. But I was standing true to what I believed in. And I did not think that I could be in a relationship with someone who had the chance to go overseas all the time. And I feel like even though that was kind of bitchy of me to say, I was also staying true to myself. So I feel like in that moment, if he was to go into the military, make the decision to go into the military, I wouldn't have been mad if he did make that decision and we did end up splitting ways because, he stuck true to himself and I stuck true to myself. So I really couldn't have been mad, but I probably would have been mad. You never know. Can't go back in history and repeat time. But yeah, I used to not want to date anybody in the military, and I used to I would threaten my ex that I would leave if he joined the military. And honestly, I could say I regret the decision that I made, but I'm not someone who regrets the decisions I made in the past. And I'm not going to say that I'm the one that's 100% accountable for that decision of his. But anyways, I used to say I would never date anybody in the past or date anybody in the military. So now I've left my ex for other reasons, not that reason. And I'm on online dating services, and all that I see are military men. And I'm like, absolutely not. I talked to someone who was in Japan. I talked to someone who was constantly being deployed on missions. I mean, it was just ridiculous. And I was like, no, thank you. So Tinder wasn't really a good workout. It didn't work out for me. I went on a lot of dates, but it wasn't something that I could see long term with anybody because 98% of the men that I would talk to were military. And I was like, there's no way. There's absolutely no way I can do this. So still, I'm now 20 years old, which I'm 22 now. So I'm 20 years old. And I'm like, I am not going to settle for that. I don't want that. That's not what I want in my life. So my 21st birthday comes around. I turn 21. And at that point, I'm still online dating. But I only online dated for 2 more months until I met Mauricio again. I met Mauricio. If you guys want to know exactly how we met in the beginning of time, let me know down below and I would be happy to give that video for you guys. But, so now I'm 21 and we're in the new year. And this is the year that I decided no more online dating, no more focusing on relationships, no more nothing. It's you. This is the year that also I started to work on personal training business, which was last year, 2019. And I really wanted to focus on building that. And in the beginning of the year, guys, I was crushing it. I mean, I was taking on clients, I was working 2 jobs, and I was doing really good. But then Mauricio came into my life again, and I also had just started AIM Intensity. This is my goal. I had dedicated a whole month at this point to AIM Intensity and everything it took to create it, and to keep myself safe from lawsuits and stuff. So I met Mauricio, and he told me that he was overseas on Diego Garcia, which is a little island, if you don't know what it is, in the Navy, and it's just a Navy base. And he was there for a year. So I was like, okay, when do you get back? December. So, guys, it was January. He left like a month ago, maybe 2 months ago at this point almost. And he was not coming back until December. And so I was like, no way. Like, absolutely no way. I was still living in Jacksonville at this point, guys. So, we hit it off from the beginning, and I was like, dang, this is crazy. Like, I don't want this. Like, I can't do this. And like, I've told him that multiple times. Like, I wasn't looking for a relationship because I wanted to focus on me. I wanted to focus on AIM Intensity, and I wanted to just be this year to be me. And then I had a conversation with my sister, and she's like, well, you know, if you think about it in a different perspective, you set that goal out for it to be your year. That doesn't mean that you can't have it with someone. And it was kind of ironic that I could be in a relationship with someone I liked, but they were gone for the year, and I was still able to focus on myself. You know what you catching what I'm fishing, or catching what I'm throwing? What am I talking about? So basically, I was in a relationship, but I was still able to completely focus on me, myself, and I, because all I had to worry about was just communicating with him every day. I didn't have to like make time for dates. I didn't have to like hang out all the time. I didn't have to revolve the gym around it. I didn't have to like take time off work to deal with the relationship or anything like that. So what I'm saying is that it kind of was like meant to be, and it was kind of like really meant to be, honestly. So January when we met, he was in the Navy, like I said, gone. I was focusing on myself. We're not doing that right now. No, we're not. So it was kind of like a match made in heaven, honestly. I got what I wanted, and he kind of got what he wanted. And this relationship just blossomed. Like, I mean, virtually this relationship blossomed from FaceTime, from texting all the time, and from just sending care packages and being there for each other. It blossomed, and it worked. And it was insane how it worked and how we grew a bond over 10,000 miles apart via the internet. And I can see how people do this like on Catfish and stuff, because like it's totally possible. Although it's hard, it's very possible. And we just freaking hit it off. And I was like, there's no way I'm gonna throw this away just because he's in the Navy. So I started having conversations with everybody. I was like, okay, this is my first thing, is like, I need someone to give me advice. And obviously my mom was a military spouse, my grandpa was in the Navy. So I was like, feed me all the information. I need all of it. Like, please give me all the information. So talking through, and they're like, you're going to know if it's meant to be. And what is it going to hurt? You technically aren't in the market for something super serious. So when you meet him and it's not what you wanted, it's not like you're going to be completely shattered, heartbroken. This was in like January, February, March. By April, I was pretty like, okay, I really like him. And we were already talking about getting married. This is the sign that I knew that I was meant to be with him, because I've always wanted to be a mom and I've always wanted to be a wife. So the fact that we were already talking about being able to commit so seriously to each other when he got back, it was pretty like terrifying, but also like a dream of mine. It was like my dream was coming true. So it's April, and he's coming in a month to visit for, I think it was supposed to be 10 days, but it ended up being like 6 days, 7 days. I don't remember how long it was. No, it was supposed to be 11, but it ended up being 9. I remember that. And guys, we just like, I mean, the second that we saw each other, sparks were flying. Like, it was just easy. Of course, the first like hour were awkward, but from then on, it was like we had known each other for years. Like, I mean, it was just so easy to talk to him. And I was like, there's no way that I'm going to throw this away. There's no way. Like, I get that I used to say that I would never date a military man. I would never marry a military man. But here I am. I'm talking about marrying one. And I'm like, this is really, really ironic, if you ask me. And in May, we had really deep conversations about if we were willing to commit to each other, and we both said yes. So we decided to get married. not get married then, which we should have. We should have got married then. If you know, the military works really well like that. But we decided in May that we would start planning our wedding. So when he got back, we would get married. We wanted to get married in May of this year, but we decided to get married in February of this year because of family and stuff. So from May all the way until December, we still communicated via text message, FaceTime, care packages, and that's how we built our relationship. And it was the strongest relationship I had. And this is coming from someone who was in a relationship for 5 years. And our relationship, my 5-year relationship, never, ever, ever got to the strength our relationship got to less than a year into it. And a lot of people call me crazy that I did this and that I got married to someone that I didn't even get to spend an entire year with. But I have absolutely no regrets. Life with him is fantastic. I mean, we laugh, we joke, we can talk serious, we can talk money, we can talk goals, we can talk future. We're not scared to do that. And I think that's really important because I think a lot of people my age, I think I should bring that up. I'm 22 and he is 27. So we have a 5-year age gap, which is pretty big age gap, honestly, but it works because I'm more mature than my age. Like, I like to talk about our dreams. I like to talk about our goals. I like to talk about money and how we're going to save and how we're going to go on trips and stuff. And I just love his compassion. Like, he wants to go next year overseas to see where my dad's buried or his ashes are laid to rest. And no one has ever brought that into a future plan. And I think that's really, like, I think that that's so important to me, for someone to think about like stuff like that. And to think about like my dream vacation is freaking Aruba and we're going there in August. Like, I think a lot of people interpret relationships that you need years and years and years to get to know someone, but honestly, you don't. But all I can say is that don't be ignorant to love. You know, I was very ignorant when it came to military men, and I don't regret that because it would never have gotten to me where I am today. But if I had been so ignorant to love, I would never have committed to Mauricio and I would not be here today. And had I held strong to, I don't want to marry a military man, I would not have Mauricio in my life because he's in the military. So all I'm trying to get at is, though, even though you're really gung-ho on something and you're really like pushing for it and you are like dedicated, it's 100%, it's set in stone, think again. Because sometimes if you open your heart a little bit more than what you anticipate to open your heart, something great and amazing may walk in the door and you may be willing to sacrifice something for this amazing relationship. So that is basically my story on how I used to say I would never date a military man. So I hope this video kind of helps you guys and see that I honestly have struggled with coping with being a military spouse. But honestly, I don't regret my decision at all. So if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, or if you want to see the video of how me and Mauricio met originally, I did post on Instagram like a short snippet at one point. But if you're interested in seeing like the whole shablam, then go ahead and let me know in the comments down below or DM me or anything like that. And I will definitely make sure to get that to you guys. Stop. I'm posting a video every day up until my wedding date, which is February 22nd. So February 21st will be my last video until probably we get back from, oh my goodness, from North Carolina. But anyways, thanks so much for watching and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.